Oh my god, okay. What the fuck? Come on. Give Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So that's how we need to do it, I guess. So let's see. Yeah. Um. Mhm. Okay. So the way I see it, we have a problem. It's twofold. Um, First, something that we discovered in the last stream, when I closed the hatch, uh, this guy here tries to lift up. So, you see? Yeah, okay. This here tries to lift up. This, of course, is a consequence of. Oh, forgot. This, of course, is a consequence of the way the struts are positioned. So the struts are basically pulling this out. So the other sensible way would be for us to mount the struts the other way. So mount them to this and mount them to the hatch. So they wouldn't be mounted down there. They would be mounted on the C-pillar. The problem that we get in this case, and I hope it's solvable, is that in that case, the struts would pull our hatch. You see, it went out again. The struts would pull this downwards, and what would happen is that our attachment here on the trunk, they would get pulled out. But I rather manage this than this, because I have been thinking about how to manage this and haven't come to a satisfactory solution. So we probably should reverse what we have here. This would probably be the more sensible solution. So that the strut would be a little further up here, and it would basically be mounted on the C pillar and opening the hatch somewhere here. That's We have to do this before we do anything else, because you know uh, so much depends on it. And of course, I think in that case the struts would also they would act better because they would not have to swing left and right. I think it would be a much more straight affair. So without talking too much about this, let's see what we can do. First, of course, positioning the struts. So in this case, we would mount the struts to the hatch itself, to the C-pillar, and then they would act kind of like this. Now, if you can see it, yeah, okay, we can live without the headlight, the rear light. So basically, this guy would be acting somewhere here. Something, it's, and then it would get compressed and lie down, and then, when you open the hatch, it would open it like this. I mean, that's the general idea. Because we cannot fix this, not in this form. So let's find the mounting point here first, and then let's play with that. I think, come on, where is a picture of a Sierra rear hatch? Let's say, come on, show me. Of course, there's the trunk in the, okay. Yes, okay. Okay, for this exercise, we are gonna have to make the hinges different as well. The hinges are going to have to be, sorry. So they will have to be more in line with what the car actually has, so that we lose all of this garbage here, because this is actually in the way. It's actually in the way. So the hinges are here now, and when open, I would prefer that the hatch swings a little more up than it does now. So it would swing a little more up and make room here for something, like a similar mechanism that we have in the Charger. Yeah. If we have, let me get some parts. If we have this. Now we could use these. Well, we have to mount it to actually see it. So there. Okay. There. This might be a shot in the dark, of course, but you know. So now we can have it. Come on. There. Huh? Yeah, of course. Now these here are too long. Right. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, so I would have to change these for 4 stud longs, but I cannot change them so simply because I need to remove this part here to slide them out. So in order to save myself some pain, I'm going to change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing for 6 stud axles, and experiment with this setup, because just for experimentation I'm not prepared to make such a big modification, because you know, in the end it might be just it might not work. So okay, now I can slide them in the middle like this. This should clear the axles. Wait, something's not right. All right. No. What? What? Okay. Hey, Andrei. How are things in Mother Russia? Okay, this doesn't work the way I envisioned it. Not at all. Mainly because we have stuff here. Okay, good thing we didn't get rid of this. Good thing we didn't get rid of it. No, this has a better angle. Right. So what do we do here? If we want to get rid of this, we cannot angle this at any other angle, because this is, yeah. What could we do? I mean, the obvious solution, of course, is to have the hinge as we have now, here, of course. To be the hinge is this. However, this is not that good. Because if we have these here angled downwards from here, they are of course going to put pressure on the hinge here, and they are going to basically dislodge it from its seating. Hey Ben. Okay. Damn it. God damn it. Nothing. We have to have this the hinge exactly here. There's no other way, but we can maybe make the hinge in a way that doesn't make it pull out. So can remove this, and now we have to find a solution for a hinge here. That's not gonna be pulled out. That's not easy or doable. Wait, what? Oh, of course. So the current solution for the hinge was this, of course. Now if I apply this somewhere here, this is gonna pull it out, right? And of course I don't have a proper way to attach this here. Grumble. That's so frustrating. I mean, come on. It was good as long as it lasted, but unless we find a solution for this guy not to be dislodged from its seating position, I don't see I don't see the version that we had in the previous stream working. Damn. And of course, the solution would be to glue this with super glue, but you know that's not what we're gonna do. Another way, of course, would be to uh, to use, you know, to remove this guy here and have, you know, something holding it down, but we can't because these two are flush, and we cannot mount any lift arm on the side here. It would look horrible. As it is, it's on its own, it's not gonna dislodge. But if we use it, you know, if we constantly use it as lever when the hatch is being closed and open, well, it's gonna work, and that's not gonna be good. Hmm. Well, one solution would be if we mount it the similar way we did before, but we don't mount it to the car. We mount it to the C-pillar somehow. If we mount it to the C-pillar, then it does not have the lever. Then we could maybe have a plate here. Maybe. Let's see. So if we would mount it kind of directly to this guy here somehow. Problem is, of course, that this here moves. So it's not parallel. That's why the real cars have a ball joint here, exactly for this purpose, because you know this has to move at least here, at least here. We do need some kind of ball joint, so this can move, and then it needs to be mounted to this. Not here, of course, because I mean that would be convenient, but when closing, of course, it's gonna be in the way. Yeah. What can we expect? Okay, this is it, fully compressed. What's the come on, fuck. What's the play here? Okay. That's not manageable. Think. Wait. What's this? Okay. I mean, as far as the strut goes, come on, open, sesame. That's not good. I mean, that's with the beams, that's an option, of course, but you know, if we do this, what's gonna happen is when you close the hatch, you're gonna basically these are gonna go. But I guess that would be one of the possibilities. But then we have to rethink this. Possibly reversing this. Possibly having the 5 stud axle here with stop being reversed so that the stop is here, and then they would have a hard time pulling this out of the entirety. So that would be a lot more difficult. We could explore this. Let's see. Is there even a possibility? I would need baby hands here. So mounting this is not gonna be too difficult. You know, we have mounting opportunities here in the roof. The problem is it would constantly be visible because it would be at an angle from the get-go, and then I don't know. Then we have to see if it opens far enough. There's so much that's in the way, but you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it and see if we can make it work. There's nothing to lose other than some insight to be gained. So we would use these here as we did before, but in a different capacity. We need to re-engineer this a little bit. Me neither. I don't know if it's gonna look good. It probably isn't gonna look good, but we're gonna try it anyway. So this is 1, 2, it's a 6 or 5. It's a 6. We're gonna try it and we're gonna see what happens. It may suck, but it may be good. And if it sucks, you can still remove it. Okay, so the shocks would of course be here, I think, and then yeah. Okay, first we need to clear up some stuff here. So we have a bunch of 3-stud pins that we need to get rid of to get some space. something I wanted to do for a while. But now we're gonna do it proper. Come on. Ugh. There. So, no more 3-stud pins. Let's see how this works. Okay, this works. Now let's see what about mounting points. Okay, you cannot see what I'm doing. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in our faces. Okay, so we can have this here. There's an easier way to do this. Now what's bothering me here is, of course, that they are in the way, of course. Ideally, I would have these further down, further in the corner, but that's not important right now, because what we want to know right now is, does it even work? So this is something that we're gonna obsess about once we know it works. I know you can't see it right now, but trust me, I'm doing something. Okay. No. What? Ah, yes. Okay. That's how we need to do it. Come on. So basically we need these here as sockets. These are gonna be the sockets. Come on. Now let's see the moment of truth. Ha! Immediately it happens what I predicted. See, these immediately removed themselves from the equation. I'm simulating right now what happened. Not good, not good. The opening of the hatch is not far enough for my taste. However, the force on this is quite large. I have to hold it, otherwise, yeah, this is not working. They are not that visible. It's not the end of the world, but I don't like them. Not at all. Wow, okay. Victor, the name, basically Ničasno means no idea or no clue in Slovenian. Well, simply because I have no idea what I'm doing, and you know, it goes from there. So we know that doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, it pulls itself apart. What could we do that so that it wouldn't pull itself apart? That's the $1 million question here. What to do so it wouldn't do that? Politely asking it, could you please not? So let's restore whatever we had before. So it works like this, of course. But that's not what we want, unfortunately. That's not what we want. We want an opening hatch. Because, I mean, it can be seen that this guy here wants to pull itself out when we have the first solution. Yeah, I mean, we had this in the first iteration, of course, when the spring force when it was here, it did point towards the hinges, so this was not a problem. The problem was that at one point in the movement of this, um, the spring force is pulling on this. So the whole roof is engaged in this. And this is not, of course, how car manufacturers in general do it, but partly because of those forces. But they in metal, that when you have all of this in sheet metal, it's not a problem, not a big problem anyway. But ideally, we would have this guy here mounted on the C pillar, so then there would be no problem. It's just not as easy to do. It's not easy to do. So basically we need 1 point here somewhere and 1 point here. But it's not easy to mount them. There's no positions where we could do this. No positions. And we cannot revert to the same trick that we had with the charger, because the springs that we use in the charger are not strong enough. So hey Consta, you have a real life collection of Sierras. Oh, nice. I would like to see that. Well, it's gonna be an RS 500 Cosworth, but you know the wing is not there yet because it's not important right now. Right now we are trying to make the struts for lifting the boot lid. Very important. And I have no idea how to do this. At least no idea how to do this so it's reliable. We had a few solutions tried out, but none of them is reliable. I somehow think that they're too clumsy. We cannot use springs because none of the Lego springs do compress enough. Pneumatics are no solution either because there's no suitable pneumatic stuff, and we would need a spring anyway. These were just made for exactly stuff like this. We just need to find a solution to mount them. If they were, you know, like we had them before, like this, I can live with that. I mean, it's not that visible because they're transparent and whatnot. But you know, it's kind of problematic. It's kind of problematic. The yeah, okay, right. I mean, of course, none of us can afford a real Sierra RS 500. Not anymore. You know, if we bought them 20 years ago, those were cheap. The RS 500s were the cheapest ones because nobody wanted them. Now everybody wants them. So you know that's how it works with classic cars. Um, well, I have no idea for at the moment. But what I do want to do is let's replicate the whole side here on the other side, because well, it needs to be done. And of course, the bumper, while we process this and think about solutions, the bumper also needs to be done in, in one piece, so it's removable like the front one. So let's get cracking on. Obviously, I'm not going to make the door until I have all of the pieces in white, but we can do, the door support like we have here, this panel here, and especially the underlying structure. That's the most important. And now let's pull it apart. Okay. Okay. There we go. Don't need that. And we have to make some changes here because, come on. Because this part here, apparently, this T piece here, this T piece, apparently does not exist in white. So because it does not exist in white, we have to figure out a way to not use a T piece. So we need to do something else. We need to um, find a way to attach this without the T piece. Maybe a better way. Just, let's think about it for a second. Obviously, I would like to make the same connection with this as I did in the front. So basically, the rocker panel is connected to this part here. Hey Yuri, so I would like to replicate this here in the back, which shouldn't be problematic. But then, of course, as I said, we need to get rid of the T piece. Basically, we would, yeah, it's simple. We use an L lift arm here and a connector here. That's what we're gonna do. And we can basically replicate this for the other side while we're here. So, what else do I need? I need, yeah, I need something I probably don't have. No, bullshit, I do. I should have at least one, I think. Or do I? Obviously not. But I'm gonna use a substitute since I'm waiting for the shipment. So I'm gonna use this guy here. I mean, it's gonna sit inside here just as well. Okay, so the adjustments that we need to make. Let's see. First, okay, that's not gonna be fun. So if I want this guy here to be in here and everything to be held somehow together, I need to rethink this. it needs to be the other way around. This, and then this. No, then it doesn't fit. Dang. We are going to do it a little differently. So we're gonna keep this. I'm gonna change it for this, and then obviously for this, and imagine that this is a pinhole, a pin. Of course, it's a black part like this, and then it goes in here. And then of course we're gonna cover it with a white wedge anyway, and then it can be mounted here like this, and this guy here is gonna be replaced like this. Not exactly. What? Oh yeah. Silly me. Silly me. Like this. Yeah. Okay. So we have this here. So we omitted this, which doesn't exist in white. So we have to get rid of it. And now we have the two positions that we want. So one goes in here, and one goes in here. So now this sits a lot more firmly. Now we have to replicate this structure here on the other side, because we don't have it on the other side like that at all. It's completely different. Ever since we redid the roof. Yeah. We're gonna gain one of these. Yeah, okay. The main thing is that the struts are gonna, the mounting for the struts is gonna change, which I can basically move this forward. Can I? Yeah, I can. I can, and I have to move this forward. It's gonna be a lot stiffer. I mean, a lot. It's gonna be stiffer. Like this. There. That's gonna be slightly better. So now the strut is acting directly up before it was angled slightly back. What? You don't want bump steer in the front. You absolutely don't want bump steer in the front. Why would you have that? Bump steer is bad. Okay. Okay. It's a bit better, I guess. Okay, now we have to get rid of all of this. This is gonna be completely different. typical. Just typical. Okay. Now let's remove this and this and this. What's left? Oh, we have to remove this as well. Real cars don't have bump steer in the front either. I mean, you know, some suspension systems do have it to a degree, but it's hardly noticeable. Simply because of certain design decisions that the engineers have to make because of packaging. But as a general rule, you absolutely do not want to engineer bump steer into your suspension, because bump steer is going to take control away from you. If you have bump steer, you lose control. As simple as that. Yeah, but that's on the rear axle, not on the front axle. On the front axle, so on the steered axle, you do not want bump steer. On the steered axle, you absolutely do not want bump steer. On the rear axle, you have multi-link suspensions, which have controlled bump steer. That's something completely different. There in the rear, you basically control the bump steer in order to prevent the rear of the car breaking out. So basically oversteering when you are in a corner, basically making the suspension work better, for lack of a better word. Okay, this is gonna be turned around, and we are gonna use this, and yeah, but that's rear suspension. You don't want bump steer in the front suspension. Absolutely not. Rear suspension is okay. Front suspension, no. How did I put this together in the rear? Ah, yeah, like this. Now we need yeah, it changes the toe on the rear axle. That's exactly what it does. Okay, that's how we do it. Like I'm looking at the other end, see how I did it, because I forgot, of course. For example, the Sierra here also changes toe, just like a multi-link suspension. But it doesn't change toe with the help of a toe link, but the angle of the rear suspension bridge basically dictates what's happening. Thing is that car manufacturers did this before the computer technology was there to calculate multi-link suspensions, because calculating multi-link suspensions is difficult. You basically cannot do it without computers. And before, you know, you can use tow. You can use tow in the front, but you have to know why you are using it. Uh, when building with Lego, if you have any kind of sense, you will try to build the suspension without any tow. So basically neutral. In real life, however, if you have a car that has front wheel drive, you want slight toe out. Front wheel or all wheel drive, you want slight toe out, because once the power is applied to the wheels, they are going to be pulled in. But we're talking about, we're talking about half a degree. It's not visible with the naked eye. And in rear wheel drive cars, you would have slight toe in, because when you start driving, the wheels are going to be pulled apart, if that makes sense. But these are very small angles. You will hardly be able to notice any of this. So make the wheels parallel to each other. Don't use any toes. That's stupid. At least in Lego. You don't have the computers to calculate how this has to be, so we're just eyeballing it always. Okay. Now I need 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. Now they are mirrored, and we only need to replicate the door lock, which I'm not gonna do right now, but I'm gonna do this. I think we need to replicate this. This is a lot more involved on the other side, and for this I'm going to remove the hinges. I think I posted that video. Yeah, I think that video, I posted that video on Discord. Florandia, for the last time, don't use toe in and toe out on the steered front axle in Lego. Don't. You are not doing yourself any favors. Oh, what? Why did I have to do this? Okay. Now I get it. Okay. I had to do this because of this little bugger. Okay. did I do this? Yes, of course. Of course. Look away, children. Some force is gonna be used. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I was gentle enough. Okay. There we go. There we go. And we have stability again. Okay. Yeah, this is now proper. No, I forgot a part. Yeah. How typical of me. There we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. That's more like it. Did I forget something? No. That's all right. Okay. That works. So this is done. This is done. Okay. Rear bumper. Rear bumper. Bumper. Okay. So we don't want this to be part of the side panel. So the quarter panel, we want this to be part of the actual bumper. So this. So we want this to be removable as one unit. There we go. And ideally, yeah, ideally this is part of the bumper as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now we have to make what? Yeah. Yeah. Now we have to make this removable. Let's turn the car around and see what we can do. Okay, I think I almost got it. So the part here can be used this if it pleases to come in. Okay, come on. Thank you. There we go. So this would be one mounting point, and now we have to do the other mounting point. So basically good God, this car is gonna fall to the floor. Okay, so we need to do this as well. And do something like this, I guess, but no, we can't. This is not gonna work. But what's gonna work is this. Come on. There we go. This is actually surprisingly sturdy for a bumper. Now, of course, the entirety of the bumper can be removed. Yeah, you cannot see. Yeah, of course you cannot see it because the angle is all wrong. So now we have our bumper that's removable in its entirety. Imagine, of course, that this is gonna be completely black. So white. So all what that I'm holding in my hand is gonna be white, all of it. So unfortunately, there's no. I don't think there's an easier way to do this because we have to substitute the frame to bring some structure into this. And the car, of course, looks interesting without the bumper. There we go. You can see. You can now see how the. Oh God, yeah. How the camber is changing when the suspension is in full drop. And when the suspension is, for example, if I compress it fully, you see that the camber changes. You can also see the anti-roll bar working. Still, I don't think the Sierra suspension is correct because we're missing something. What we're missing here is that when approaching level, so okay, you know what we're gonna do, what we have to do. We have to drop the suspension bridge by 1 stud. Exactly, that's what we have to do. That's not is in the last stream we dropped just the differential, but now we have to drop the entire suspension bridge. What's gonna happen is that the um, the mounting points here for the rear swing arms are gonna come 1 stud down, and this is gonna have a very interesting effect on the geometry, an effect that we actually want, because what we actually want is that when the suspension is at right height, the camber is 0, and then when it compresses, the camber increases. We don't get this at the moment. The camber decreases. I mean, it increases slightly, but it never gets to 0. Even on full compression, it's still not 0. And we want to achieve that. So we are going to drop the suspension bridge by 1 stud. Come on. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. So nothing changes in the suspension in the strut mounts. Nothing changes there. But we are going to drop the suspension and suspension bridge. Sorry. Right, let's do it. I mean, for this we need to basically remove the suspension bridge out of the car. This is going to be interesting. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Some challenges, but we're gonna solve them. And at this point, we could drop the floor. We could drop the floor. Now that we're dropping the suspension bridge, we could drop the entire floor of the car in the rear section here. So we would gain more trunk space. Maybe. Let's see first what the drop of the suspension bridge brings us, if anything, and then we can move forward. But of course you would do this. Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you break off where everybody else breaks off? Every single time. Okay, so first things first. What we need to do first is we need to lower these. So these need to be now 1 stud lower. There's, we could use this here, but we're not, because if we look at this side here, you can see that there's simply no room because we have this here. At this moment, because I'm just interested in how it looks, we're gonna use a cop out solution, of course. We're gonna use this here. Can you see it? My head is in the way. This here, I can do it on this side. And we're gonna put a connector on it. Basically a spacer. So we're gonna use a spacer, and that's gonna be it for us here. But what we have to do is, of course, semi-reverse the mod that we did for the differential. Basically, we need to turn the differential around again. I just hope that this is not going to be too low, but you know, we'll see. Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for not cooperating with us. Okay. Okay, so that's back to the initial spec. And you see what we want is, this is neutral caster, and then once it gets out of neutral, it increases a little bit. Now obviously we have the drive shaft here in the way. Don't know how to handle this yet. Maybe if we are bold enough and use a 4-stud axle, we can. Okay. So no reinforcements. We can get the thing. Oh, that's quite a lot. Okay. Yeah. So the camber now increases a lot. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see what happens. This may be the realistic component in the suspension that I was, you know, from the beginning when we designed this, I was like, something's off. Maybe that's exactly what's the missing component. Well, we are flipping it upside down. Come on, work with me. Don't do this. Okay. I don't know why, but today the whole day I have this Miley Cyrus song in my head. Give me what I want. I don't know why. I was just thinking about it. Why is this song playing constantly on repeat in my mind? Integrali, hey. Okay, so come on. Get inside. Okay, right. So let's observe what happens. This is a Ford Sierra. So, as we can see from the rear, once I have it centered, come on. Now the drop off, so the camber is not as extreme when the suspension is in full drop. And when we compress the suspension, now we get some camber increase. Now this is proper. And I think now we should get the proper geometry as well in cornering. You know? I think this looks much better now. Yeah. I mean, you cannot see it. Well, you can. I'm taking you with me. I'm taking you with me on a journey. Okay. We need some light. We need some light. Let me put some light from the phone on for you. There we go. Light. So now, of course, when the car is going in the corner, we can see. So when it leans on the other side, see, the more it leans on the other side, the wheel actually stays flat to the floor, maximizing grip. And when it leans on this side, now the effect is much more compelling. You see, when the car is completely leaning over, before this wheel here lifted in here. It still does it a little bit, but the effect is much less pronounced. So now we actually have grip on the rear. Before we didn't. So the lowering of the rear suspension bridge is a great success. However, now that we lowered the rear suspension, we have a lot of room in here. And now we can basically lower everything in here by one stud. So everything, the whole floor of the trunk can be lowered by one stud. We are going to do this, and let's discuss the repercussions of this. So one of the things that's gonna happen because of that, we don't need this light anymore. One thing that's gonna happen is that this here is gonna change. Mainly, it's gonna be one stud lower. So this frame here is gonna be one stud lower, I think. maybe we have to redesign this entirely. And this frame, of course, will have to be one step lower in any case, as will, of course, all of the other frames. It's gonna be this part here is gonna stay the same, of course, I think, because we need this to mount the side panels, or the quarter panel. And of course we're gonna drop this here. This here is gonna be dropped by one step, I think. Yes. Yes, we're gonna make this one stud lower. We need to then no, it'll be fine. Forget it. Forget that I said anything. It's gonna be fine. I wanted to say how are we going to connect this panel to this then, if it's gonna be one side lower, but we have connectors that fit here. It's gonna be interesting. That's the project for the next stream, of course, not today. But I'm just, when we do this, the entirety of this is gonna be one stud lower, and it's actually incredible how much more room there's gonna be in the trunk area when we do this. A lot, a whole lot, a lot of room is gonna be open for activities, if you want to. The tunnel here, of course, has to be then lowered, but I think I ordered already the wedge stuff, so the panels that go downwards, so should be fine for this. None of this in the front has to change, of course, but this being lower is gonna benefit us a lot. Yeah. So I see people don't like what I'm planning, but I think it's for the best. There's always someone who doesn't like what I'm doing. That's okay. Yeah, so one thing that I also noticed on the car, of course, naturally, that the weight increases slowly while we are adding stuff. It's still, without engine, it's still, the weight distribution is still 50-50, I'd say. There we go. Of course. Now that we have the bumper as a separate unit, we need to make sure that we have something here that this slots into so that it doesn't drop. Of course, when it's mounted on the other side, the drop is gonna be less noticeable because it's gonna be equalized. But it's still, we need to somehow secure it more better. Maybe, we can have like something here as well, but we'll see. We'll see. And of course, I was thinking about these. More and more, I'm leaning forward towards the solution that Christian made with the connectors. Let me do it again, because now that some time has passed, I may start to like it. Let's try better. A better view of what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So, few modifications. Come on, one. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna use these. Definitely. They finally grew on me, and yeah, I think they are the way to go. So we can omit this entirely. You see, I think these actually look best. They will look better in the front as well. Yeah, this should look best. What do you think? I think they are fine. Well, we're not gonna make our car that low, of course. That's ridiculous. We could, of course, but no. Mm. Just need to find a way to mount it in the rear. But that's probably not gonna be that difficult. Or shouldn't be. You know, something like this. Yeah. This should be fine. There's yeah. We have the mounting point there. I think. 1, 2, 3. Like this. And like this. And you know, they bend and flex a little bit and it's fine. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough for me, I guess. And in the front, the same story, only smaller. I think that should be okay. And as soon as the mailman comes, we gonna have these, of course, as wedges in white, of course, and all of this in white, and then it's gonna look brilliant. Once we start putting some color, color, basically we're gonna take away color, but you get the point. Once this is all of the same color, it's gonna look a lot better. Um, the big issue, of course, is how to do the front fender. That's still a project, but in the next stream, of course, as said before, we're gonna busy ourselves with making the trunk lower. One thing that this is also gonna benefit. You see, now we have these the frames here are too high. They're gonna be lower, and then we can have like a trunk surround no trunk cover, basically, that then when we open the trunk, swings open with the trunk. Let's see if we can make that work. Obviously, making the struts would be great if we can do it. There could be a better mounting possibility for this once we lower the boot floor. And then, we could have a better way of mounting the C pillars. Maybe. But we are going to explore this once we are there. Here, of course, the rear tire is uncomfortably close to this. Never mind. Once this is sitting right, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, the driving force of the wheels is gonna be forward anyway, so and the wheel doesn't move, so this is not gonna be a concern. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. Next stream is on Wednesday, because this week it's gonna be fine. And I hope by Wednesday some parts are gonna arrive, because we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but now it's the rear suspension is really good now. It's before it was really weird, and now when the car is at right height, let me show you once again. Now that when the car is at right height, you see, now everything is much more parallel to the ground. Before, if you remember, everything was too high, so the angles of everything was yeah, the front suspension is good as well. So now everything is a whole lot better than it was.
I'll hold it there.
And I think that the car is gonna handle. Oh yeah, I can feel it already. Uh, when I'm driving it like this, I can feel the car being better. The springs are gonna need to be stiffer, of course, because right now it's a bouncy castle. So we are going to need to do something about it. Um, but we are going to cross that bridge when we get to it, or so they say. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I see you on Wednesday.